Take a look at the divorce papers. If everything's in order, just sign. I pushed the file I'd prepared across the table toward Olivia, a sick sense of satisfaction washing over me as I watched the shock register on her face. Are you insane? Ethan, why would you want a divorce out of the blue? Olivia's eyes widened, her voice trembling slightly. I scoffed. Out of the blue? Did you think I wouldn't find out about the $500,000 you wired to your high school sweetheart, Leo Vance, yesterday? The color drained from Olivia's face. Her fingers tightened on the edge of the papers. You check my accounts. I didn't have to. The bank sent me an automatic alert for the large wire transfer, I said, leaning back into the sofa and watching her panic. $500,000, Olivia. Do you have any idea how many years I'd have to work to earn that kind of money? I can explain. Don't bother. I cut her off. Leo needs a down payment for a condo in the Loop, so you sent him $500,000 without a second thought. We've been married for 3 years, and when I was in the hospital, you told me money was tight. But for him, you're suddenly incredibly generous. Olivia's expression soured. Ethan, don't jump to conclusions. Leo and I are just friends. Just friends. I pulled up their message history on my phone. Let's see. Leo, the money's sent. Take care of yourself. You're the best, Liv. I promise I'll pay you back someday. I turned the screen toward her. Does that sound like a conversation between just friends? A flicker of guilt crossed her eyes, but she held her ground. We've known each other since we were kids. He's trying to get his startup off the ground, and he's in a tough spot. What's wrong with me helping him out? Helping him out? I stood up and walked to the window. Olivia, do you remember last month when my mom was diagnosed with diabetes and needed $2,000 for her first big insulin supply? I asked you for help, and what did you say? You said the company was having cash flow problems, that I should try borrowing it from someone else for now. But when Leo needed $500,000, you didn't even blink. In your heart, your ex-boyfriend is more important than your husband, more important than your mother-in-law. Isn't that right? Olivia shot up, flustered. No, that's not it. Ethan, just let me explain. I don't want to hear it. I turned back, looking at her tear-filled eyes, and a sudden wave of exhaustion hit me. Olivia, let's just get a divorce. You can't end our marriage over something so small. She stood up, her voice sharp. $500,000 isn't a big deal to me. My company made $2 million in profit last year. What's wrong with using some of it to help a friend? A bitter laugh escaped me. Right? To you, it's nothing. But to me, it's an astronomical sum. And that, right there, is the gap between us. Olivia's import-export business was incredibly successful, and it had been booming for the past few years. I was just a regular programmer, making $90,000 a year. Next to her, I knew I didn't measure up. Ethan, I don't agree to a divorce. Olivia grabbed the papers and ripped them in half. We're a married couple. Can't we just talk things through? I stared at the shredded paper on the floor and felt a surge of absurdity. Olivia, when you gave another man $500,000, did you talk it through with me? She opened her mouth but couldn't find the words. You didn't, because in your mind, I don't even factor into the equation. I walked toward the door. I printed 3 copies of the papers. You tore up one, there's still 2 left. Take your time thinking it over, but my decision is final. Ethan, stop right there. Olivia rushed after me. You're really going to divorce me over $500,000? Are you that petty? I stopped and looked back at her. Petty? Olivia, what would you think if I wired $500,000 to another woman? That's different. How is it different? Because you're the one with the money, you can do whatever you want, and because I'm not, I'm just supposed to shut up and take it? I shook my head. Olivia, we're not right for each other. Without another word, I walked out of her home. I could hear Olivia's sobs behind me, but I didn't stop. Some lines, once they're crossed, you can never go back. After leaving the apartment building, I wandered aimlessly down the street. My phone buzzed incessantly with calls from Olivia, but I ignored them. I sat down on a stone bench, lit a cigarette, and thought about what she'd said. $500,000 really was nothing to her. But to me, that was more than I'd make in 5 years. More importantly, she gave it to him. Leo Vance, Olivia's first love. They'd been together since high school and only broke up after college. The reason was simple. Leo's family didn't have money, and Olivia's parents disapproved. When Olivia and I got together, I truly believed she was over him. I never imagined that after all these years, he still occupied a space in her heart. My phone rang again. This time, it was an unknown number. Hello, Ethan? This is Leo Vance. I frowned. What do you want? I'd like to meet with you. To talk about Olivia, he said, his voice sounding sincere. I know that what I did caused a fight between you two. There's nothing to talk about, I said, ready to hang up. Ethan, please wait, Leo said quickly. I want to give the money back to Olivia, but she won't take it. I think we should talk this over, face to face. I hesitated. Where? The Starbucks downtown, the one near the shops at Northbridge. I'm already here. After hanging up, I grabbed an Uber. It was a lie to say I didn't want to see him. I want to know what kind of man still had this hold on Olivia after all this time. When I got to the Starbucks, I spotted him immediately. He was sitting by the window, dressed in a sharp black blazer, looking confident. Ethan. He stood up to shake my hand. Thanks for coming. I sat across from him, sizing him up. He was handsome, no doubt about it. A little taller than me, with a more polished air. What did you want to say? I got straight to the point. Leo gave a slightly sheepish smile. I know this has caused a lot of trouble for you. Honestly, I never expected Olivia to actually send me the money. Then why did she? I'm launching a startup and was trying to open an office downtown, but I was short on the down payment, he explained. I was just venting to her about it, and the next thing I knew, the money was in my account. I scoffed. Venting? You thought it was appropriate to vent to her like you two were still a couple. Leo looked uncomfortable. Ethan, I know you're angry, but I honestly didn't mean anything by it. Olivia and I are in the past. I have a girlfriend now. You have a girlfriend, but you're still hitting up another man's wife for money? I wasn't hitting her up. She offered. Leo clarified, looking desperate. And I'm serious about paying her back. She just refuses to take it. I looked at him and found the whole situation laughable. Leo, do you really think I'm going to believe a word you're saying? It's the truth, he insisted, pulling a debit card from his wallet. The $500,000 is in this account. Please, give it back to Olivia for me. I didn't take the card. You give it to her. She won't accept it from me. She said it was just a friend helping a friend, that I didn't need to pay it back, Leo said with a frustrated sigh. But I know I can't keep this money. Why the change of heart? Because I don't want to destroy your marriage, Leo said, looking me in the eye. Olivia is a good person. She's happy with you, and I don't want to be the reason you two split up. I took a sip of my coffee. Leo, do I look like a child to you? What do you mean? If you really didn't want to destroy our marriage, why are you still in contact with her? If you really have a girlfriend, why are you crying about your problems to your ex? I put my cup down. You think I don't see what you're doing? Leo's face changed. Ethan, I'm not. You know exactly what you're doing, I said, standing up. Leo, I don't care what you and Olivia used to be. She's my wife now. Since you have a girlfriend, focus on her and stop messing with my wife. Ethan, I swear I'm not messing with her. She's the one who contacted me. That just makes it worse. I stared him down. I came here today to tell you one thing. What's that? I am divorcing Olivia. Leo was stunned. What? A divorce? That's right. A divorce, I said, feeling a strange satisfaction at his shocked expression. Isn't this what you wanted all along? I never wanted you to get a divorce. Leo insisted. Olivia is happy with you. I was happy for her. Really? I sneered. Then why was she willing to give you $500,000 but couldn't spare $2,000 for my mother's medicine? Leo opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Leo, I'm not a petty man, but I have my limits, I said, looking him straight in the eye. Olivia still has feelings for you. That's a fact. And since that's the case, I'll step aside and let you have her. No, Ethan, you've misunderstood. I haven't misunderstood a thing. I cut him off. Would a woman wire $500,000 to a platonic friend? Do you really think I believe that kind of crap? Leo fell silent. I've already had the papers drawn up. We'll be at the courthouse in a few days, I said, grabbing my jacket to leave. After that, Olivia will be a free woman. You two can do whatever you want. Ethan, wait, Leo called out. Olivia really loves you. She told me you were the best man she'd ever met. I paused. If she really loved me, she wouldn't have hidden this from me. Maybe she was afraid you'd get the wrong idea. The wrong idea? I turned to face him. Leo, do you even believe that when you say it? Again, silence. All right, we have nothing more to talk about, I said, heading for the door. And remember what I said. Don't contact Olivia again. I may be divorcing her, but until those papers are signed, she's still my wife. Walking out of the Starbucks, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. Now that I'd said it out loud, I realized I wasn't as hurt as I thought I'd be. It was more like relief. My phone rang. This time it was my mom. "Ethan, honey, where are you?" Her voice sounded a little weak. "I'm out, Mom. What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?" "I'm fine. I just wanted to ask. I'm running low on my insulin." A pang of guilt hit me. "Don't worry, Mom. I'll go buy you more tomorrow." "There's no rush, sweetie. I know you kids are under a lot of pressure. My medicine isn't important." "Mom, don't say that." My voice cracked. "You're my mother. Of course it's important. I know Olivia is busy with work, so don't be too hard on her. Young people are like that. It will get better once you have kids." Hearing my mom defend Olivia made my heart ache even more. She had no idea her daughter-in-law could casually give someone $500,000 but couldn't spare $2,000 for her. "Mom, I have to go. I'll come see you in a bit." After hanging up, I took an Uber straight to the pharmacy. My mom's insulin cost over $300 a box. I bought 10 of them, enough to last her for months. When I got to her house and she saw the bags, her eyes welled up. "Ethan, why did you buy so much? That's such a waste of money." "It's not a waste, Mom," I said, stocking the medicine in her fridge. "From now on, you don't have to worry about this." My mom wiped her eyes. "I have such a good son. Where's Olivia? Why didn't she come with you?" I hesitated. "She's busy with work." "That girl works too hard. You need to take better care of her. Make sure she's not so stressed," she said, taking my hand. "I know things are tough for you kids, with a mortgage and car payments. This old lady will try not to be a burden." Her words felt like a stone in my chest. My mom was so kind, so considerate, and yet Olivia. "Mom," I asked suddenly, "if Olivia and I got a divorce one day, would you blame me?" She looked startled. "Why would you say something like that? Did you two have a fight?" "No, I'm just speaking hypothetically. Don't be silly. What married couple doesn't fight? You argue, you make up. You don't just talk about divorce," she said, patting my hand. "Besides, Olivia is such a wonderful girl. Where would you ever find another one like her?" I forced a smile. "Mom, what if one day you found out Olivia isn't as wonderful as you think?" "It wouldn't matter," she said seriously. "Everyone has flaws. The important thing is to be patient with each other. Ethan, you're my only son. All I want is for you to be happy. As long as Olivia is good to you, that's all that matters to me." Her words only strengthened my resolve. My mom was too good. She didn't know what Olivia was really thinking. I stayed at my mom's until evening, then headed back to my place. The moment I walked in, I saw Olivia waiting for me on the sofa. Her eyes were red and swollen. She'd clearly been crying. "Ethan, you're finally back." She stood and walked toward me. "Can we please talk?" I hung my coat on the rack. "There's nothing to talk about. My decision is final." "Are you really going to divorce me over $500,000? Olivia's voice trembled. "Ethan, we've been married for 3 years. Doesn't that mean anything to you?" I looked at her. "Olivia, a relationship is a two-way street." "What's that supposed to mean?" "I'll ask you again. When my mom was sick and I needed $2,000 for her medicine, what did you say?" The color drained from her face. "I said the company's funds were tight. But when Leo needed $500,000, you sent it to him without a second thought," I said, staring at her. "In your heart, is my mother not even as important as Leo Vance?" Olivia's face was pale, her lips trembling. "Ethan, that's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" I sat on the couch, facing her. "Olivia, let's be completely honest with each other for once." She slowly sat down across from me, her head bowed. "I admit, I wasn't thinking clearly. But Ethan, you have to believe me, I didn't mean anything else by it." "Nothing else?" I scoffed. "Olivia, do you think I'm an idiot?" "I saw your texts." The affectionate tone, telling him to take care of himself. "Is that how you talk to a platonic friend?" Olivia looked up, her eyes shimmering with tears. "Ethan, Leo and I are really just friends." "Friends?" I cut her off. "Do friends wire each other $500,000? Do friends need that kind of hand-holding? Olivia, are you trying to play me for a fool?" "I'm not playing you," she cried, her emotions boiling over. "Leo's startup really needed the capital. What's so wrong with me helping him?" "Then why didn't you help when my own mother needed medicine?" Olivia froze, speechless. "Olivia, at the end of the day, Leo is more important to you than I am, more important than my mother, and more important than our marriage," I said, standing up. Since that's the case, what is there left to talk about? No. Olivia jumped to her feet, her voice sharp. Ethan, stop overthinking this. There's nothing going on between me and Leo. Then swear on it, I said suddenly. What? Swear that you have no romantic feelings for Leo. Swear that I'm the only one in your heart, I demanded, staring into her eyes. If you can swear on that, I'll believe you. Olivia's face grew even paler. Her lips moved, but no words came out. You can't do it, can you? The last shred of hope I had shattered. Because you know you're lying. Olivia lowered her head, her voice barely a whisper. I admit I still have some special feelings for Leo, but it's just nostalgia for the past. Enough. I cut her off. Olivia, you're finally telling the truth. Ethan, let me explain. No more explanations. I walked toward the bedroom. Since you're still in love with Leo, there's no reason for us to continue. Ethan, Olivia followed me. I'm not still in love with him. You just what? Can't let him go? Can't move on. I turned to face her. Olivia, is there really a difference? Tears streamed down her face. Ethan, I know I was wrong. I'll never contact Leo again. Can we please not get a divorce? Seeing her like that, I felt a moment of weakness. But then I remembered her indifference when my mother needed help, and the ease with which she sent a fortune to Leo. My resolve hardened. Olivia, some things can't be fixed with an apology. I pulled a suitcase from the closet. I'm staying at a hotel tonight. I'll be back for my things tomorrow. Ethan, don't go. Olivia grabbed my arm. We can fix this, I know we can. I gently pulled my arm away. There's nothing to fix, Olivia. We're not right for each other. What do you mean, not right? Haven't the last 3 years been good? Good. I let out a bitter laugh. Olivia, in 3 years, have you ever offered a single dollar to my family? My parents never asked you for anything, but you couldn't even show them basic decency. Meanwhile, you treat Leo better than you've ever treated me. She started to argue, but fell silent. When we got married, you promised to be with me through thick and thin. But for the last 3 years, where has your money gone? Designer bags, makeup, expensive clothes. And today, $500,000 to another man, I said, my voice level. Have you ever thought about our future? Have you ever once thought about my parents? I've been so busy with work. Busy. Too busy to find $2,000. I scoffed. Stop making excuses, Olivia. The bottom line is, you just don't care about this family. She broke down completely. Ethan, I really know I was wrong. Please, just give me one more chance. A chance. I picked up my suitcase. Olivia, how many chances have I given you over the last 3 years? Every time I brought up my parents, you were too busy. Every time I asked you to show some interest in our life together, you said I was asking for too much. I'll change, I promise. Don't bother. I walked to the door. Olivia, we just don't work. Ethan, she cried, following me to the door. Are you really divorcing me over money? I stopped and looked back at her. Olivia, after all this, you still think this is about the money? What else could it be? She said, wiping her tears. If it wasn't for the $500,000, why would you want a divorce? I just shook my head. Olivia, you will never understand. And with that, I walked out the door and didn't look back. I checked into a hotel and went to work early the next morning. My colleague, Mark, came over to my desk as soon as I sat down. Hey, Ethan, where'd you go last night? Olivia called me asking if you were still at the office. Stayed at a hotel, I said without looking up from my computer. A hotel. Mark's expression turned gossipy. You guys have a fight? Yeah, I didn't want to elaborate. It happens, man. Just go home and apologize, Mark said, clapping me on the shoulder. Olivia's a catch. Don't do anything stupid. I gave a weak smile, but didn't respond. Mark didn't know the real story. He only saw the glamorous, successful woman on the surface, not the one who still carried a torch for another man. Around 10, I got a call from my lawyer. Ethan, the divorce papers are ready. When you have time to come by and review them. This afternoon, I'll take some time off work. After hanging up, I felt a mix of emotions. It wasn't easy to end a 3-year marriage, but mostly I felt liberated. At 2 o'clock, I arrived at the law office. My lawyer, Kevin, was a college friend and someone I trusted completely. Ethan, are you absolutely sure about this? Kevin asked. You don't want to reconsider? No, my mind's made up, I said, sitting on the sofa. How do the papers look? Kevin handed me a file. The condo was bought after you were married, so it's marital property. But you made a down payment and have been paying the mortgage, so you're asking for the property. You're not making a claim on her company's shares or income. Is that right? That's right. I don't want anything but the condo, I said, flipping through the agreement. I don't care how much money she'd give me. I just want a clean break. Ethan, you could be leaving a lot on the table, Kevin advised. Legally, you're entitled to a portion of her business earnings. I don't want it, I said, shaking my head. Kevin, I'm not divorcing her for money, and I don't want to get dragged into a financial battle with her. Kevin sighed. All right, it's your call. For the record, I've cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for divorce. It's better for both of you that way. Thanks. After leaving the law office, I drove home to pick up my things. As I pulled up, I saw Olivia coming out of the building. She looked exhausted, her eyes puffy and red. Ethan, you're back, she said, walking toward me with a raw, hoarse voice. Can we please talk again? There's nothing left to talk about. I opened the trunk and pulled out a few empty boxes. I'm just getting my stuff, and then I'm gone. Ethan, I got the money back, she said suddenly. I froze, looking at her. What? I made Leo give the money back. $500,000, every last cent. She pulled out her phone and showed me a bank statement. Look, here's the transaction record. I glanced at the screen. There it was, a wire transfer for $500,000, dated that morning. So now do you believe me? There's nothing going on between me and Leo. Olivia said, her eyes filled with hope. If I still loved him, would I have taken the money back? I handed the phone back to her. Olivia, you didn't take the money back because you don't love him. You took it back because you're trying to save our marriage. What's the difference? She pleaded. The point is, I chose you. I chose our marriage. But it's too late. I picked up the boxes and headed for the building. Olivia, once something is broken, it can't be perfectly repaired. Ethan, she cried, following me. Can't you just give me one more chance? I know I was wrong. What were you wrong about? I stopped and turned to face her. I shouldn't have sent Leo the money behind your back. I shouldn't have disregarded your feelings. And Olivia thought for a moment. I shouldn't have been so cold to your mother. I should have cared more about our family. And I pressed. What else is there? She asked, confused. Ethan, I've admitted I was wrong. What more do you want from me? I shook my head. Olivia, you still don't understand what your real mistake was. Then tell me, what was it? I looked her straight in the eye and said, enunciating every word, your mistake was that you never, ever truly loved me. Olivia froze. That's a lie. Of course I loved you. Olivia, if you really loved me, would you have told me you had no money when my mom was sick? If you really loved me, would you have secretly sent a fortune to another man? If you really loved me, would you have humiliated me like this? Olivia opened her mouth, but was speechless. Olivia, the only person you love is yourself. You love having someone by your side, someone to give you a sense of security, someone who makes you look good in front of your friends. I continued. But you never once consider my feelings, my needs, or our future. I did think about. Did you? I cut her off. It's been 3 years, Olivia. What have you ever done for this family? Have you ever given my parents a dime? Have you ever asked about my job? Have you ever made a single plan for our future? Olivia was silent. You haven't, because in your heart, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is that you're happy and comfortable. I looked at her. Is a marriage like that really worth saving? Olivia's face grew paler, and she sagged against the wall as if she couldn't stand on her own. You're right, Ethan. I've been selfish, she said, her voice barely a whisper. But I can change. I really can. Change. I let out a bitter laugh. Olivia, we're in our 30s. Do people's fundamental characters really change? They can. I know I can, she insisted, grabbing my arm. Ethan, just give me one more chance. I will become the person you want me to be. I gently removed her hand. Olivia, I don't need you to become someone I want you to be. I need a woman who genuinely loves me. I do genuinely love you. Tears welled in her eyes again. Ethan, I really do. You love me? I challenged her. Olivia, you still want to meet Leo for coffee, and you're telling me you love me. I didn't have coffee with him. No. I pulled out my phone and showed her a picture. What's this? It was a photo I had taken last night at the Starbucks, showing the backs of Olivia and Leo sitting together. When Olivia saw the picture, her face fell. You followed me? I didn't have to. I happened to be there, I said, putting my phone away. Olivia, Yesterday you were swearing to me that you had no contact with Leo, and then you turned right around and met with him. I want to get the money back from him. Get the money? I scoffed. Olivia, does it really take 2 hours to get money back from someone? She was speechless. Did you know I sat in that same Starbucks for 2 hours yesterday? I said, looking at her. 2 hours, Olivia. That's how long you two talked. If it was just about the money, why did it take so long? We were talking about old times. Right? Old times, I nodded. Olivia, you've never spent 2 hours just talking with your own husband, but you can spend 2 hours talking about the good old days with your ex-boyfriend. Her face was ashen. Ethan, it's not what you think. Then what is it? I walked into the bedroom and started packing. Olivia, I don't want to hear any more of your excuses. Every lie just makes me feel sick. Ethan, she followed me in. I know I messed up, but you can't divorce me over something so small. Small. I stopped what I was doing and looked at her. Olivia, in your world, your husband's feelings are a small thing, marital fidelity is a small thing, and family responsibility is a small thing. Is that right? That's not what I mean. Then what do you mean? I threw a pile of shirts in my suitcase. Olivia, do you have any idea how I felt yesterday, seeing you two in that Starbucks? She shook her head. I felt like a clown, I said, my voice low. My wife was chatting with another man, laughing, completely absorbed, and all her husband could do was hide in a corner and watch. Ethan, and you know what's even more pathetic? I continued. I actually tried to convince myself that maybe you really were just friends, that maybe I was overreacting. But then today you lied to me again, telling me you hadn't been in contact with him. Olivia looked down at the floor, unable to meet my eyes. Olivia, you lied to me again and again. You deceived me over and over. How am I supposed to trust you? I closed the suitcase. How can you talk about love when you can't even be honest? I won't lie anymore. Anymore. I dragged the suitcase to the door. Olivia, there is no anymore for us. Ethan, don't go, she cried, blocking the doorway. Can we please try again? I promise I'll change. Seeing her desperation, I felt a pang of pity. But then the image of her text with Leo flashed in my mind, the memory of her sending him that money without a second thought, and my resolve hardened. Olivia, move. I won't. She spread her arms, blocking the exit. Ethan, if you walk out that door today, we're really over. We're already over, I said, my voice flat. We were over the moment you wired that money to Leo. No, she sobbed. Ethan, I can give you the company. I can give you all my money. Just please don't divorce me. Olivia, you still don't get it. I shook my head. I don't want your money. I want your heart. But your heart belongs to someone else. There's no room for me. There is. There is room for you. Is there? I asked her. Then tell me this. If Leo and I were both in danger at the same time, who would you save first? Olivia stared at me, her mouth opening and closing, but no answer came. You don't have to answer. Your silence says everything. I gently pushed past her. Olivia, let's just set each other free. And with that, I walked out of the room. Behind me, I could hear Olivia's heart-wrenching sobs, but I didn't turn back. Some paths, once taken, can never be undone. After moving out, I found a hotel near my office. The next day was Saturday, so I went to visit my mom. Ethan, you came alone? Where's Olivia? She asked, looking around as I walked in. I hesitated. She had something to do. She'll come next time. That girl works way too hard, my mom said, pulling me down to sit. Ethan, you need to take better care of her. It's stressful for a woman to work that much. A husband needs to be considerate. Her words twisted my stomach into knots. My mom was so kind, always thinking of others. And Olivia? Mom, if Olivia and I really did get a divorce, would you be very disappointed? I couldn't help but ask. My mom's expression changed. Why are you talking like this again? Are you two having real problems? No, it's just a hypothetical. Ethan, tell me the truth. Did Olivia ask for a divorce? She asked, gripping my hand. Is it because this old lady has become a burden to you both? Mom, don't be ridiculous. It has nothing to do with you, I said quickly. Then what is it? Her eyes started to water. Olivia is such a wonderful girl. You have to cherish her. If this is really because of me. Mom, it's really not about you, I said, unable to bear seeing her blame herself. We just have irreconcilable differences. Irreconcilable differences? She wiped her eyes. Ethan, No couple is perfectly compatible. You have to work at it, compromise. You've only been married 3 years. You can't just give up over a few small disagreements. I didn't answer, my mind a mess. Ethan, tell your mother. What is this really about? She asked, looking at me seriously. Is Olivia upset because our family doesn't have money? No, Mom, I shook my head. It's really not about money. Then what? I was silent for a long time before finally deciding to tell her the truth. Mom, Olivia, she still has feelings for someone else, I said, looking at the floor. My mom was stunned. What? Someone else? Her ex-boyfriend. She sent him $500,000. I gave her the short version of what had happened. When I finished, my mom's face was grim. That girl. How could she do something like that? Mom, don't be upset. I tried to comfort her. It's not your fault. How is it not my fault? Tears streamed down her face. If I hadn't gotten sick and needed that medicine, you two wouldn't have fought about money. Mom, please don't say that. I said, my own heart aching. The issue isn't the money. It's that she's in love with someone else. My mom was quiet for a long time. Finally, she asked, Ethan, what are you going to do? Divorce her, I said firmly. Mom, I've thought it all through. We're not right for each other. She sighed. Maybe this is for the best. Ethan, I'm not the kind of mother who needs her son to stay in a bad marriage. I just want you to be happy. If Olivia can't make you happy, then it's better to let go. Hearing her say that moved me deeply. Thanks for understanding, Mom. Silly boy, of course I understand, she said, patting my hand. But Ethan, you need to be sure. A divorce is a big deal. I'm sure, Mom. Just then my phone rang. It was Olivia. Don't answer it, my mom said, glancing at the screen. If you've decided to end it, don't give her false hope. I nodded and declined the call. When I got back to the hotel that afternoon, the front desk clerk told me someone was waiting for me in the lobby. I looked over and saw Leo Vance. Ethan, can we talk? He asked, walking towards me. What's there to talk about? I said, not hiding my hostility. It's about Olivia, he said, looking haggard. I know you two are getting a divorce. So what? I wanted to tell you that Olivia really does love you, Leo said earnestly. When she came to get the money back yesterday, she was crying the whole time. She said she didn't want to lose you. And I scoffed. You're trying to be the good guy and get us back together? No, Leo shook his head. I came to tell you that I've decided to leave Chicago. I was taken aback. What do you mean? I've accepted a job offer with a company in San Francisco. I'm leaving next month, he said, looking at me. I don't want to be a problem in your marriage anymore. You should have done that a long time ago. I know, Leo said with a wry smile. Ethan, I'll admit, I still have feelings for Olivia, but I also know she's married. I never should have reappeared in her life. I watched him without saying a word. Olivia is a good person. She deserves to be happy, he continued. If you really love her, please forgive her this one time. She knows she was wrong. Leo, do you really think I'm going to believe you? I asked. You say you're leaving now, but who knows if that's true? I can show you the plane ticket, he said, pulling out his phone. It's booked. A flight for next Wednesday. I glanced at it. It was, indeed, a ticket to San Francisco. Even if you do leave, so what? I scoffed. Leo, do you think Olivia is just going to forget about you because you moved away? Leo fell silent. She has feelings for you. That's a fact. You could move to the other side of the world, and that fact wouldn't change, I said. And I will not be with a woman who is in love with someone else. Ethan, that's enough. I cut him off. Leo, if you're leaving, then leave. But don't expect me to forgive Olivia because of it. Some things can't be fixed with an apology. With that, I turned and walked to the elevator, leaving him standing alone in the lobby. On Monday morning, I got a call from the courthouse scheduling our final hearing. I sent Olivia a text, telling her to meet me there at 3 o'clock. She replied almost instantly. Ethan, can we please talk one more time? Don't be in such a hurry to do this. I didn't reply. I arrived at the courthouse at 2:30. At exactly 3, Olivia showed up. She looked gaunt, her eyes swollen and red. Ethan, are you absolutely sure you want to do this? She asked, her voice raspy. I am, I said, standing up. Let's go inside. Wait, she said, grabbing my arm. Ethan, Leo is gone. He moved to San Francisco. I know, you know. She looked surprised. Then why are you still insisting on this? Olivia, I told you, this was never just about Leo. It's about your heart, I said, looking at her. Even with him gone, he still has a place in it. I can forget him. Forget him? I gave a humorless laugh. Olivia, is love something you can just turn off like a switch? Tears streamed down her face. Ethan, then tell me, what do I have to do to make you forgive me? There's nothing to be done, I said, shaking my head. Olivia, some damage can't be undone. The moment you sent that money to Leo, our marriage was over. No, she cried, gripping my hand. Ethan, we still have a chance. There are no more chances. I gently pull my hand free. Let's go inside. The sooner this is over, the better for both of us. Inside, the clerk, a middle-aged woman, looked at us with sympathy. You're both so young. Is there no way to work through your problems? A divorce is a very final decision. We've made our decision, I said flatly. The clerk looked at Olivia, who was silently wiping away tears. And you, young lady, you agree to this divorce? Olivia nodded, choking back a sob. The clerk sighed and began processing the paperwork. 10 minutes later, we walked out of the courthouse, each of us holding a copy of the divorce decree. Ethan, Olivia called out, even though we're divorced, I just want to say, I really did love you. I stopped but didn't turn around. I know. What about you? Did you ever love me? She asked, her voice barely a whisper. I was silent for a long moment. I did. Then that's enough, she said, a tearful smile on her face. Ethan, thank you for the last 3 years. I know I wasn't good enough for you. I hope you find someone who will truly love you. Then, she turned and walked away, disappearing into the crowd without a backward glance. I stood there for a long time, a whirlwind of emotions churning inside me. That night, I sat in my hotel room, drinking alone. Mark called, telling me the news had spread around the office and asking if I needed someone to talk to. No, I'm fine, I told him. Dude, are you sure? Olivia was amazing. Are you really just letting her go? She wasn't right for me, I said, taking a swig of whiskey. Mark, some things are more complicated than they look. What happened? You guys always seemed so happy. I gave him the short version of the story. After I finished, Mark was quiet for a long time. Man, he finally said, I get it. I couldn't handle my wife being in love with someone else either. Yeah. But hey, don't let it get you down. There are plenty of great women out there. No reason to waste your time on someone who doesn't deserve you. After we hung up, I kept drinking. Halfway through the bottle, I got a text from Olivia. Ethan, I've sold the condo. I'm wiring you the money. Consider it compensation for the last 3 years. I looked at the message and let out a bitter laugh. Even at the end, she still didn't understand that this was never about the money. The next morning, I woke up to a bank notification on my phone. Olivia had transferred $800,000 into my account. I called her immediately. Olivia, I can't accept this money. Ethan, please, just take it, she said, her voice calm. We're divorced. Let's part on good terms. This is what I owe you. I don't need your money. I know you don't. But I do, she said. Ethan, let me do this one last thing. It will make me feel better. I was silent. Ethan, I know I hurt you. Consider this my apology. Please, you have to take it. It will give me some peace of mind. Olivia, that's all, Ethan, she said, cutting me off. I hope you find happiness. And with that, she hung up. I held the phone, my feelings a tangled mess. Olivia had hurt me. There was no doubt about that. But she wasn't a bad person. We were just wrong for each other. A month after the divorce, I moved into a one-bedroom apartment. Life started to find a new rhythm. Work, gym, reading. The days were full. I didn't touch the $800,000 from Olivia. It sat in a savings account, untouched. I used my own salary to buy a good health insurance plan for my mom and rented a small apartment for myself near her place so I could check on her easily. Ethan, won't you be lonely living by yourself? My mom asked, watching me unpack boxes. Not all, Mom. I actually like it, I said with a smile. I'm free to do whatever I want. But you can't stay single forever, she said from the sofa. I hope you find a nice girl and start over soon. No ruse, Mom. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. Just then, the doorbell rang. I opened it to find my old college classmate, Chloe Jensen. Chloe, what are you doing here? I asked, surprised. I heard you got divorced. Just wanted to come check on you, she said with a bright smile. Hope I'm not interrupting. Not at all, come on in, I said, stepping aside. Mom, this is my college friend, Chloe. It's nice to meet you, ma'am, Chloe said politely. Oh, what a pleasure. You're so lovely, my mom beamed. Please, sit down, make yourself at home. Chloe and I had been in the same program in college. Now she worked at a big tech firm. We didn't talk often, but we'd always been on good terms. So how are you holding up? Chloe asked gently. I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking, I said, pouring her a glass of water. How about you? How's work? Good. Just busy, she said, looking around the apartment. You made this place look really nice. It's cozy. I just threw some things together. It's a place to live. We chatted for a while about work and life, and then Chloe suddenly said, Ethan, there's actually a reason I came here today. What is it? My company is looking for a new director of engineering. The pay is great. Starts at $250 a year. With your skills, you'd be a perfect fit. I was surprised. Your company? Yeah, Century Tech. We're in the fintech space, she said. I'm a manager in the department. If you're interested, I can put in a good word for you. Wow, let me think about it, I said. It was tempting. My current job was stable, but there wasn't much room for growth. Okay, think it over, Chloe said, getting up. I should get going. Let me know what you decide. After Chloe left, my mom pulled me aside. Ethan, I think that girl is very nice. Mom, what are you thinking? She was here to tell me about a job. I think it was more than just a job, my mom said with a knowing smile. When a girl goes out of her way to check on you like that, it means she's interested. Mom, don't be ridiculous. I'm not. That Chloe seems so sensible. Much better than Olivia, my mom said. It would be wonderful if you two could get together. I just shook my head, not wanting to get into it. It was way too soon to even think about that. The next day, I gave Chloe's offer serious thought and decided to interview at her company. A $250,000 salary was incredibly appealing, and it represented a fresh start. The interview went great. The CEO was impressed and offered me the job on the spot. All the while, Chloe was standing by, beaming. Congratulations, Mr. Director, she said playfully. Thanks, Ms. Manager, for the recommendation, I laughed. We should celebrate. My treat, Chloe offered. It should be my treat. You're the one who did me a huge favor. All right, we'll go Dutch, she said with a smile. That evening, we went to a nice Italian place in River North. In the middle of dinner, Chloe asked, Ethan, do you have any regrets about divorcing your ex-wife? I thought about it for a moment. No regrets. Why not? Because forcing it wouldn't have been good for either of us, I said honestly. Her heart was with someone else, and I couldn't pretend I didn't know. Chloe nodded. I get that. You can't fake something like love. Exactly, I said, looking at her. Chloe, thank you so much for today. Don't mention it. That's what friends are for, she smiled, then took a breath and said, Ethan, if the opportunity came up, would you be open to trying a date? I was stunned. What? I said. Would you be open to dating? She repeated, a slight blush on her cheeks. I know you just got divorced and probably aren't ready for anything new, but I like to try. I looked at her earnest expression and felt something stir in my chest. Chloe was a great woman, kind, smart, down to earth. The complete opposite of Olivia. Chloe, to be honest, I'm not really ready yet, I said. Can you give me some time? Of course, she said with a warm smile. I'm not in a rush. I can wait. Thank you for understanding. But I have one condition, she said with a playful glint in her eye. From now on, you can't call me Chloe. You have to call me Chloe. I smiled back. All right, Chloe. It's a deal. 3 months later, I was settling into my new job, and my friendship with Chloe was slowly blossoming into something more. She was incredibly patient, never pushing, just quietly being there for me. One afternoon, I was in my office when my assistant knocked on the door. Mr. Cole, there's a Ms. Reed here to see you. My heart skipped a beat. Reed? Yes. She said she's a friend of yours. I took a deep breath. Send her in. A moment later, Olivia walked in. She was much thinner than I remembered, but she looked well. She was dressed in a sharp business suit, looking confident and poised. Ethan, she said, sitting down across from my desk. Sorry to interrupt your work. It's fine, I said, putting down my pen. What can I do for you? I wanted to tell you something, Olivia said, her gaze complicated. I'm moving. I blinked. Moving where? To the U.S., she clarified, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. I've registered a branch of my company in Los Angeles. I'm shifting my focus over there. When are you leaving? Next month, she said. Ethan, I came to say goodbye and to tell you one last time that I'm sorry. I looked at her, a tangle of emotions stirring inside me. Olivia, you don't have to apologize to me. I do, she said seriously. I've been a lot of thinking these past few months. You were right. I was selfish. I never once stopped to consider your feelings. I didn't say anything. Ethan, I understand now that loving someone doesn't mean possessing them. It means wanting them to be happy, she said, her eyes glistening. I hope you'll be happy. Happier than you were with me. Thank you, I said quietly. I heard you have a new girlfriend, she asked suddenly. It's not official yet, I answered honestly. I'm sure she's wonderful, Olivia said with a sad smile. You deserve the best, Ethan. You too, Olivia, I said, meeting her eyes. I hope everything goes well for you in Los Angeles. Thanks. She stood up. Well, I'll let you get back to work. Olivia, I called out as she reached the door. Yes. Take care. She nodded, and a single tear finally escaped and rolled down her cheek. You too. Then, she walked out of my office without looking back. I leaned back in my chair, staring out the window, feeling a strange sense of closure. Olivia had hurt me, but seeing her now, I couldn't feel any resentment. This was for the best. We were both starting new lives. It was the right ending. That evening, Chloe took me out to dinner. She could tell something was on my mind. What's wrong? Bad day at work? No, I shook my head. Olivia came to see me today. Chloe's hand paused midair. What did she want? I told her everything that had happened. She's moving to Chloe asked, surprised. Yeah, expanding her business. Chloe was quiet for a moment. Then she asked, Ethan, do you still have feelings for her? I looked at her earnest, open face, and gave her the honest truth. Chloe, I won't lie to you. A part of me will probably always care about Olivia. We were married for 3 years, but it's not love anymore. It's more like a habit, a memory. I understand, Chloe nodded. So where does that leave us? I reached across the table and took her hand. Chloe, I think we should give this a real try. Her eyes lit up. Really? Really? I said seriously. These last 3 months, you've made me believe in love again. Your kindness, your patience, your understanding. It's been like coming home. Ethan, her own eyes started to well up. Chloe, I said, my voice steady. Will you be my girlfriend? Yes, she nodded enthusiastically. Yes, of course, yes. We looked at each other and smiled, a pure, uncomplicated happiness filling the space between us. A year later, Chloe and I got married. It was a small ceremony, just close family and friends. My mom adored Chloe, telling everyone she was 100 times better than Olivia. And she was right. Chloe was a wonderful woman. She cared about family, and she was a true partner. Most importantly, I knew her heart was mine and mine alone. On our wedding night, Chloe rested her head on my chest. Ethan, thank you for giving me a chance. I should be thanking you, I said, stroking her hair. Chloe, you're the one who taught me how to be happy again. We're going to be happy forever, she said, looking up at me. I promise my heart will always be yours. Mine too, I said, and lowered my head to kiss her. 2 years later, we had a beautiful baby girl. Chloe decided to stay home to raise her, while I worked to support our family. Life was full, and I was happy. Sometimes when I thought about Olivia, it was without any anger or resentment. Everyone has the right to choose their own path. Ours just weren't meant to cross for long. I was grateful that I had been strong enough to choose divorce, because only by ending that chapter could I begin the one that truly mattered. Some endings are just the start of a better beginning.